year as a hospitality business coach, and this topic of marketing is one that over those years has really been one of the major sticking points for hospitality business owners and managers. And we hope today that we will be able to unpack some of that for you and leave you going away with what we hope actually is a lot less in your thinking about marketing, not more but less, because we think that in itself is one of the greatest challenges, is that in the noisy world of what should I do and what works best, a lot of the simple things have got lost along the way. So we're going to really strip this down for you, and what we hope will give you this real clarity that you can leave with about what really are the key priorities when it comes to marketing in the hospitality industry. So again, thank you for being involved. We've got a few more people coming online. So good morning, everyone. Great to have you here. And we're really excited about taking you through this today. So let's have a look at the content. So I'll just get my my gadgets going. So in the essence, what we're talking about here today is one of our deep philosophies in our business, filling the gap for you between the passion that you have for what you do and being involved in the hospitality industry and the profitability of your business. And our experience has shown that there is a very wide gap often between how passionate people are about what they're doing and the success by way of their business performance. And our attempt today is to look at one aspect of the business and of the company that you own or manage, and really drill down and find out the important points that make the best of marketing in our industry. Just want to give you a bit of context here. We've got a whole lot of people that we know and that that have been in our webinars before. So welcome along. You may have seen this a framework of ours called Hospitality Business Architecture. We fondly call it HBA. Our clients and the people in our business that are on our online courses, or that are doing some work with us via coaching or any other aspect of our services, they have gotten to know HBA, Hospitality Business Architecture. And you'll see here in the context of this is, and this is our material. This is what we use as a framework to help hospitality business owners really drill down on what the important things are, and not juggle 1,000 balls, but to focus on these 12 things. And you'll see in the middle under engineer, the one word in there called marketing. So you can see in the context of our discussion today that marketing is incredibly important because it makes this framework that we have designed, but it is one part of a much wider framework. So we want you to really understand that this is very important, but it's all the other things that you see on this list here are also just as important. So it's not a quick fix, it's not a silver bullet that we're giving you today, but it is a very important piece of the overall architecture of your business. We also want to highlight to you here that, and we call this aspect of business, by the way of our HBA framework, we call this MSF, which stands for Marketing, Sales and Fulfillment. And we want you to understand that all three areas need to work in succession for your marketing to work. Now today, because of our limited time and because this is a free webinar, we are going to be focusing on one aspect, which is marketing, but it is really important that you continue to learn about the relationship between marketing, sales and fulfillment, and how they all come together, because it's when they all gel together that marketing actually works at its best. So, if you need some support and help on those other areas, then you can contact us at a later date and we can help you through that. So, looking at marketing, we want you to start with statistics. We like statistics, we like facts, and here's a really important one. 86% of customers will pay more for a better customer experience. And that is a worldwide survey done in the customer service industry. And it's really, really important that in a time where your rising costs are going up as a hospitality business owner or manager, and you still need to get your margin, the way in which you approach this customer service is going to be critical about how people feel about you changing your prices. So, beer, wine, food, all of those commodities have gone up in prices over the last 20 years. But what we've constantly seen is the customer experience hasn't been going up to match those rising prices. So if you don't want customers to complain about the prices, then focus on that experience that you're producing. And that'll bring us to our point one in just a moment's time. Sorry, just a few more people jumping online there. So hi, everyone. Welcome along. Great to have you here. You might have missed a bit of intro, but not too much at this stage. So just listen in and you'll catch up with us. So one of the things we want you to understand is that marketing, and for some of you that are listening online today, you may have been in business for a number of years, and that's great. The question, though, is have you really been a student of what we call the macro environmental factors of the world to understand how much your marketing needs to change because the macro environmental factors have changed? And in fact, what's interesting and very important for you to engage with here is that the 21st century consumer has been molded now towards the experiential and relational consumerism that is now a part of everyday life, whether that be in hospitality or any other business in the world. There's experimental and relational consumerism, and the way in which people want to experience marketing is significantly different. So I often talk to people who have been in business for a long time, and they say to me, James, the marketing that I'm doing now doesn't work. And I go, well, when did you start that marketing? And they go, oh, we've been doing it for years. And slowly over time, it's not working. What's the issue here? And the issue here is because the way in which those macroeconomic factors have changed, marketing itself has changed, which is why we've been encouraging all of the time to make sure, whether it be on blogs, whether it be in reading books, that you are well adjusted and well up to speed with the macroeconomic changes of the world and the marketing around that. Sadly, our experience in working with hospitality owners and managers over these 20 years is that very, very few of the people that we've come in contact have been real students of business, students of marketing, or students of those macroeconomic factors, but they have been students of food and coffee and wine. And those are all really important. Studying those things, the product-centric study is great, and we encourage you to continue to do that. But it needs to be balanced with making sure that the other aspects of the business are also being learnt about and studied, and you become a student of those. So experimental and relational consumerism, remember that as we go through this today. I'm just going to quickly take my watch off and make sure that I've got my time in front of me so I can get through all the content. So let's move on. So point number one, we've got some really significant points to make here. We'll leave it up long enough for you to be able to write that down and make sure that you've got that in your notes. So point one, the number one marketing strategy in your business is, I can't hear you, so you can have a guess out loud, talk to the people next to you and discuss that. What do you think the number one marketing strategy for your business is? Right now, what is it? So think about your answer, and here's our answer. The quality of your guest experience. What experience they receive from your business every day is the number one marketing strategy in your business. So before you get caught up with and sold advertising in magazines and print media and on radio, before you get sucked into all of those things, by the way, we don't encourage you to do any of those things, is to focus that time and money and resource on the quality of the guest experience, because that is the number one marketing strategy in the hospitality industry, as it is in all business. So what happens within the four walls of your cafe, your restaurant and bar, and how people feel about is the most important thing that you can do. And unfortunately, our experience as we travel around this country all of the time and stop in towns and cities around this country, it is very evident to Liz, Alexis and I that this focus of the quality of the guest experience isn't given the #1 mantle that it deserves, because the guest experiences we're having are very, very inconsistent, and unfortunately, on many occasions, just well below even using the word experience. It's just transactional, and it's not an experience. So you've really got to ask yourself some hard questions today: is how are you positioning it? Is it really an experience for people, or is it simply a counter order transaction, pay the money, sit down, they've left, clear the table? Now, what sort of business are you? That can be confronting, that can be hard to talk about, but it is very, very important if you want to improve significantly the quality of your marketing. So that's point #1. To do that, what we want to encourage you to do is to think about the quality of the hospitality you're providing. And that word hospitality is a word that is totally misunderstood. And obviously, the hospitality company, we ourselves are on a journey of teaching people what that is. For most people, hospitality is the industry that we work in or we're involved with. It's not. It's more than that. So let's just understand that in terms of improving the quality of your guest experience. So service and hospitality are two very different things. Service, that's about the technical elements required for that level of excellence. So being able to do things, the carrying of the plates, the clearing of tables, the using of FPOS, the making of food, all of these things relate to the service, the technical work that happens every day. The hospitality is the emotional connection that makes your guest feel like you are on their side. That is hospitality. It's about feelings and emotions. And when you see that, when you see that emotional, it then goes back to that understanding that 21st century marketing, as we said at the beginning, is experimental and emotional. So if hospitality isn't present and you're not focusing on how I feel and how you make me feel and how the people that we come with feel at the end of this experience, then you're missing the trick about delivering the guest experience, and therefore you're not using your greatest asset marketing-wise, which is the guest experience. So really important to understand that. Now let's move on. Last year, many of you will know, and those that are new to the hospitality company won't know this, but last year we spent a significant amount of time and resources on visiting New York and studying and really researching Danny Meyer's company, a Union Square Hospitality Group. And we actually did a course in September called Creating Raves, which is an incredible course that we have now brought back and are delivering a version of the course we did here in New Zealand through our workshops. And you can have a look at the detail on that via our website. But when we were over there studying the company, the education arm of Union Square, which is really now one of the most admired hospitality companies in the world, they talk about and trademark this expression that this is the age of the hospitality economy. And we've just moved so much beyond what we call that customer service experience. And in fact, I will grab it here on the old bookshelf. This is a great book that we'd encourage you to read, which is a book by Philip Kotler, and it's called Marketing 3.0. And his phrase in here is from products to customers to the human spirit. So we've moved on from 1983. We've moved on from if we just deliver the customer what they need, that's enough. Now, because of those macroeconomic factors and because of the changes that have happened through technology, social media, all of these things, it's this connection that people are looking for more than they did in 1985. So the Union Square, the consulting hospitality quotient, has trademarked this for people to really have a deep understanding that we're in an economy where the hospitality and the way you deliver hospitality, which is how you make people feel, is just should be front and center in everything you do. If you dropped every single marketing investment you made today, you got out of the magazines, you stopped doing radio, you stopped doing flyer drops, and you focused on the quality of the hospitality and therefore the guest experience every day, your business's marketing and the amount of people that walk through your door will significantly improve. And in fact, another book to grab out from the bookshelf here is a book called Firms of Endearment, also a wonderful book. And this book is a really significant study into companies around the world who deliver on that experience. And what they've found, and these are big and small companies, is that these companies that are called firms of endearment companies spend significantly less money on marketing than their direct competitors, because they're focusing in on the experience. So I'm not asking you to spend more money today. And in fact, I'm encouraging you that you could probably, for many of you, spend less by focusing on what happens inside the walls of your business, knowing, and actually when you think about it, knowing that if the guest experience isn't amazing and you're spending money on marketing, you're actually wasting your money, because the feedback and the guest experience that people are sending out there to the marketplace isn't encouraging people to even look at that ad and go, that's a good place to go, because they're looking at the ad with their friend having just posted online that your place isn't very good, and then your marketing is trying to sell them in. So you're wasting your money. And I'm sure you get that. So let's have a look at this a little bit further. A great line out of Danny Meyer's book. So Setting the Table, another wonderful book. So we're giving you all the books to read today. Danny Meyer's book, Setting the Table. If you're in hospitality and you have not read that book, you're missing out big time. So Setting the Table by Danny Meyer. A quote out of the book, page 3. In the end, most meaningful is creating positive, uplifting outcomes for human experience and human relationships. Business, like life, is about how you make people feel. It's that simple and it's that hard. So really focusing in on, as a business, what are we doing? What are we doing about how we're making people feel? Not how are we servicing, not how are we getting food to the table only and getting it away and promptly doing the service things. How are we making them feel while we're delivering the service? And you can see here, this is Union Square Hospitality Group's mission statement. And as you listen today, we hope that you've all got a mission statement. You should have one if you're in business. It's really important to have this. And this is theirs. Our mission is to thoroughly delight our guests with such unparalleled hospitality, service, and culinary excellence that they will rave about their experiences and have no choice but to return. Now, if that doesn't sort of put some, your hairs on the back of your neck stand up, then you're missing out, because this is exactly what we're talking about. See how hospitality and service have been broken into separate things, creating a rave, someone who absolutely love it and making it so good that they have no choice but to return. For us, unfortunately, as we travel around and look at businesses, that isn't the type of goal or experience, a goal that we think the business that we meet have, that we see all the time, and that's certainly not the experience that we're having. So we want to encourage you to set your standards for what the guest experience is, and knowing it's the number one marketing strategy is to set that really high and really zone in on that as a business. Okay, moving through. Point 2, spend less money on marketing and focus on being the what? Being the favorite. We really want you to understand there's a big, big difference in focusing on being the best and being the favorite. The most successful businesses that we have studied and looked at over the last 20 years in the hospitality industry are looking at people's being their favorite cafe and restaurant. They're not trying to be the best. And actually what we've seen consistently over the last 20 to 25 years is that many of the businesses that try to be the best, have the best food, end up being businesses that actually don't stay around very long. And when you look at businesses, and I'm sure you are, because we can't help ourselves, is to look and go how they're going and how they're going. What we ask you to do is to study those that have been around for a very long time and be consistently successful. Don't just study the new kid on the block, because the new kid on the block often doesn't last very long. Study those businesses just like people who have been successful for a long period of time consistently. And we know that one of the things that happens in those businesses is that they become a favorite to lots and lots of people. So focus on being the favorite more so than the best. Being the favorite means also getting personal. To be the favorite, you need to get to know the guests that come through the door. You need to be looking at building a relationship with them that is well beyond the transactional relationship that happens inside the doors. And that's where the fulfillment part, which we're not getting into today, but you can uncover and discover on our courses if you wish, is fulfillment is the essence. But getting personal, getting to know people at a much higher level is very, very important in terms of the success around the marketing and being people's favorite. Moving on, the fastest and biggest marketing tool is still word of mouth. And you can see how this now dovetails back into the quality of the guest experience, because the guest experience will be the thing when people's word of mouth and their mouth starts talking. The words will be determined by the quality of that guest experience. And it's important to understand that behind every happy and unhappy guest are 100 people who are about to hear about it. You know, when I started coaching 20 years ago, well, there was no internet, there was no TripAdvisor, there was no this, there was no that. This world of people talking online did not exist. And for people that may be listening going, oh, I don't like it, well, it's sort of bad luck whether you like it or not. You don't have a choice. What you've got a choice to is to embrace it or not embrace it. And if you don't embrace it, you'll be left behind. And if you embrace it, then you will create a better business. And, you know, are you setting your targets on being a five-star, 5 out of 5 place on TripAdvisor? If not, then you should be. Now, how do you do that? Well, you actually don't have to focus on being 5 out of 5 on TripAdvisor. You focus on the quality of the guest experience, which in itself we now know is the number one marketing strategy in your business. And let these happy people tell 100 people about it within 10 minutes of walking outside of your business, how wonderful you are. Now, we realize that, you know, what happens with word of mouth and experiences is the kind of word of mouth that is shared are the extremes, the extremely good and the extremely bad. Well, you've got to do whatever you can by way of the guest experience, by way of getting personal and building relationship, and by becoming people's favorite, that the extremely good is the stuff that people want to post about you. So you can't control the uncontrollables, but you can control what happens inside your business. Do that well, and we absolutely know and believe and have experienced it, that the rest will always follow. So point 3, as I look at the time, and I hope you're getting lots out of this. I hope you're taking lots of notes. We really enjoy talking about this topic, as I'm sure you can see, but we also realize there's a lot to take in. So getting those notes down will help you to reflect. Do you really know who your guests are? Do you really have a deep understanding of who they are, where they come from? Because our experience is that most hospitality businesses don't know their guests very well at all. At best, they might know their favorite wine. But really, what we see is just these transactional, cold relationships that are happening. People coming in, people being nice for 10 minutes while the orders are being taken. And other than that, there's just nothing going on. No, not really taking interest in what we call collecting dots and gathering information to know more about them. We do that with our friends and family. We want to get to know people, but we don't seem to do it very well in the hospitality industry. So learning more and getting to know your guests is very important. And this is important because you want to be spending your time and money talking to the right people. And what that means is that as you develop marketing strategies, you want to make sure that you're talking to the right people. So if you're a fine dining restaurant, you're not going to be marketing your business to play centers. If you're a casual cafe that happens to be around a mountain biking community, You want to really know a lot about the mountain biking events and the community and what's on and what's not, so that you can deliver and be able to deliver that guest experience when those events are on. So an example of not doing it and doing it. So really getting to know them means that you will spend your time and money on the right people and having the right conversations, because we all know that not everyone is a potential guest. And if you've got that mindset, it doesn't work. The right people are the people that you want to be talking to. So thinking about that, brainstorming, who's our target market, who are our best people, a profile of your best and ideal guest, this is all part of excellent marketing, because you've got precious marketing time and precious marketing dollars, and you want to make sure it's to the people that will engage with you the most when you start talking to them. Okay, we're nearly there. Just a couple of minutes to go. So in summary, and we'll leave this up for a moment so you can write this down. In summary, creating outstanding guest experiences so you are the favorite is incredibly important, and it should be absolutely at the central figure of the marketing that you do, and believe and know that it is amazing marketing. And secondly, connect with guests in a way that makes them feel valued and important. And these are all internals. And these aren't things that are costing you thousands of dollars in marketing spend by way of advertising and radio. Forget all of that. We're saying to you today, forget about it. Focus on these and so many great things, and the number of guests that walk through your door and the repeat business will absolutely fly. Now, we realize that as we do these things and do these webinars, that out of this comes a lot of questions. So we want to make sure that we're prepared for you, and we obviously are with what we do. So to develop a deeper knowledge of marketing, then if you're a business owner today, we'd really encourage you to look at the Business of Hospitality course, which you can find on our website. The Business of Hospitality course, which is now proving to be just an incredibly successful community product that has just really transformed a lot of the people that are doing the program. In its depths is it's absolutely spells out our HBA framework. So every single piece of that is what we look at through the course. It includes group coaching, access to our Facebook page, and if you want to know a lot more about marketing, which as you can see is just one piece of this puzzle, to know more about marketing and every other thing that you can see in front of you there, then the Business of Hospitality course is definitely the way to do that. It's really affordable. We've made it really scalable in a way that allows to make it a price that people can afford. We realize we've got a range of business owners here, and your budgets, you want to be spending money on growing your business, but you don't want to be at a financial consequence to your business, which is why we've made this course so affordable for people. So if that there, as you look at HBA and you see hospitality business architecture excites you and you want to know more and you want to know a lot more about marketing and hospitality, then this would be a great starting point. If the hospitality side was particular of interest today as you listen to that, then have a look at our workshops that we have, the Hospitality Excellence Workshop and the Hospitality Leadership Workshop. They are incredible courses that we started running in November following our trip to New York, and the information that we share on that is just totally unique and a really valuable resource for you and your managers. And we do, if you're looking at coming to those and you're an owner, please come with a manager, because two people learning together in an organization and taking that back will produce just so much better results. And we've already had that feedback from people that came to our November program. So listen, thank you so much for being involved today. To know more about what we're doing and how we help the industry, please choose and have a look at our website, which I'm sure many of you already have. And if you'd like us to run more of these, or this is something that you're interested in, please follow us up with an email and let us know. and we can make sure that we put you into the database of people that want to know more about these free webinars. If you already know that you're in our system and you're in our community, then you'll receive these anyway. But thank you very much, and we hope that you've got lots of value from today's workshop, and all the best with your marketing in 2018. Thank you, everyone, and take care. Bye-bye.